Hi, I'm Leanne Ely. I'm a nutritionist, a New York Times best-selling author, and some people even say I'm a life coach. I started the Daily Dish Show to share my story, my truth, and my journey to vibrancy, and to inspire others to do the same. Because it's all about grit, perseverance, and finding a way despite the odds. It's about embracing the whole woman, not just the parts that are easy to love, and feeding her heart, mind, body, and soul. But I found that this isn't just my story, it's your story too. It's go time. This is the Daily Dish. It is. It's Wise Women's Wednesday, and look, we've got some wise women out there, including our lovely Mother Hen. Hi, Mother Hen. Hi, Nancy. It's good to have you here. Patsy, love to see you here. Alice, Jeanette, and Debbie. It's lovely time, isn't it? It's so much fun. Yay, Sandy's here too. So I've got a little hot tea here. Just felt like it. You know, sometimes you just need to have a little bit of that. I love it. Doris is in the house as well. Good to have you here, Doris. I'm glad you're here. Jackie, you too. It's going to be a good day. I love Wise Women's Wednesday. We've got some stuff cooking for you. I'm not kidding you. Not even kidding you for a minute. Now, I know that I spoke a little bit about the Bio-Omega-3X, but can I just tell you something that I bet you did not know? Jocelyn, hello. Good to have you here. That most people on this planet have an omega-3 fatty acid deficiency. Do you know what that means? That means that cardiovascularly, you're not doing as well as you could be with this. Now, of course, if you are on blood thinners, you got to talk to your doctor about this. But this stuff is amazing. Also for your skin, for your hair, for your nails, for your gut. Also for weight loss. It is all a magical kind of a thing. Now, the thing that's so wrong, hi, Kathy, hi, Helen, with so many of the fish oil supplements that are out here and why ours is so different is because of what we do with them. They're dry. We dry the fish oil first and then put it in here, preserving the integrity of the fish oil. The problem with all of these fish oils that are out there is that most of them are rancid. That's not going to do you any good. Deb, it's good to see you too. I'm glad you're here. Anyway, Patsy likes my color. Well, thank you. I love a hot pink. Can you tell? Anyway, so this is something that I am absolutely passionate about, and making sure that people understand you've got to get those omega-3 fatty acids in. You just have to. You should be eating salmon. You should be eating wild salmon, by the way. You should be eating chia seeds. This is how you get a lot of omega-3 fatty acids. Sardines. I did those the other night. You know, my husband, love him, but he underfeeds me by protein. I'm looking at this. I'm going, this is not enough protein for me. I need more protein than this. Hi, Kathy. When you don't have enough protein, you know what happens? It's not good for you. You need it more for your bones, right? You need it for your muscle. It is absolutely imperative. So we had this lovely trout dinner and I ate it and it was delicious and it was a big salad that went with it. And then you know what I did? I went up and opened a can of sardines and plowed right into them. The ones that I didn't finish, I gave to Lincoln. He was super happy. But I will just say, make sure you're getting enough protein. That's a big deal. Well, you're going to find out why at the end of this month when we introduce the ultimate sprint. You're going to find out about that. Number two is that you need to make sure that you're getting enough adequate fish oil in your diet. It will make a huge difference in your mood as well. So our Bio-Omega-3X, which I'm very proud of this supplement, is on sale this week. If you buy 3, you will get the 4th one absolutely free. That is a screaming deal, y'all. And you take 2 capsules of this, but you can take this twice a day if you want to, especially if you have a deficiency. When you have your blood tested, you can ask about your omega-3 fatty acid profile, by the way. You can, just like you can your vitamin D. Important. Ground flaxseed's great, but grind it yourself. I think it's better. And it's good fiber and you can add it to your shake. Yes, you can. You can do all that, Debbie. Mm-hmm. All right, so you know about that. We also we had last night was our Take Back Your Life, Take Back Your Body last night of our class. And I will tell you, I am going to miss that class. It probably was our very best group that we've ever had. And we've had really good groups, but this group, I will say, has been stayed connected. And it wasn't me, it was them. The community that they built and the way that they were so active on Slack and everything, it was just incredible. And the growth that happened in this group was palpable. So I just say to you, the next time that we have a class like this, like we do about 6-8 week classes, think about that, especially if you're feeling just a little out of touch, a little disconnected, and you're looking for something else. It's not just the content of the class that you'll get, but it's the closeness of the community that you'll also get. Stephanie, you are here. Nice to have you here. And Juanita, it's been a minute. Hello, hello. I'm glad to see so many good. You know what? It's Wise Women's Wednesday. That's why you're here, isn't it? And our quote of the week, by the way. Oh, and who is in? I need some pinkies up on this one. Okay, pinkies up if you are starting the sprint this Monday, a Hot Milk Sprint that's coming this Monday. And I don't want your pinkies up if you're not 100% in. Don't play with me. Okay. Are you committed? If you're committed, throw your pinkies up in the comments and then go show up in the Hot Melt Sprint group on Facebook and say, I am 100% in. I'm so in. I couldn't be more in. I'm in all the way. I'm going to play full out. This 7 days is going to be mine. Who's in? Give me some pinkies. There's my girl, Alice. Deb, you're in. Yes. This is what I like to see. The momentum that we get from a community that all does the thing is unbelievable, isn't it? You can do it yourself. Sure, you can do it anytime, of course. But when you're in community, there's some magic that just can't be beat. Magic, 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 magic. And today, man, we've got the magic going on, don't we? We've got the magic going on. Look at all those pinkies coming up. 100% in. I can't tell you how excited I am for this. I've got my bone broth already made. It's going to be simple. And I'm going to make a batch of salad dressing. Y'all, can we just say something? Can I ask you to take a step away from the bottled salad dressing in the stores? It's garbage. It's garbage and it's expensive. And if you buy good stuff with good ingredients, that's expensive and it's not even that good. Olive oil, a little Dijon mustard, a little garlic, a little bit of apple cider vinegar or balsamic, whatever it is that you want to put in there. Goodness gracious, there you are. And you've got the most gorgeous salad dressing and it feeds your health. It doesn't feed inflammation. I'm telling you, it's all about that. She's in, she's waiting on her package. I know you're in, Trisha. Jocelyn's in. Man, Jocelyn, I'll tell you what, she does a great job on this. I will never forget our one-on-one that we had, Jocelyn. I was so impressed with you. You just are amazing. And the rest of you are amazing too. You take it out to restaurants. Patsy, that's what I'm talking about. I think that's fantastic. Beverly's in too, girls. Here we go. Listen, if you're in, you go and you post in the Facebook group and you say, this is it. I am in. I am doing this full out. Get out of my way. You stand in my way, I'm going to run you over. Backwards and forwards. Yes, I think it's fantastic. Did you see our quote of the week? It's David Bear, friend of mine. This guy is incredible. I mean, his stories are amazing. And just blew my mind. He said this and I wrote it down. That which we tend to pay attention to is aligned with what we believed. So that is all we get. This is so important because what we've been talking about today. We've been talking about going pro as opposed to just being an amateur, just dabbling and playing and not getting serious with what it is that you want. Pros don't do that. They don't mess around. They get right in, they do it. And I'll tell you what, it's about their focus and what you believe. And when you believe the right thing about yourself and who you are, guess what happens? Guess what happens? You are going to get what you want. You are going to get what you want. You're going to manifest that left, right, and center. Yes, you are. My goodness, Francesca, so good to have you here. And you too. I haven't seen Francesca since this summer. I don't know. Good to have you here. So like I said, we were talking about the pros versus the amateurs. And I'm looking at you. I see you. You're a pro. You want what you want. You have a vision. You have a burning hot desire for something in your life. You see it. You visualize it. You want it. There's emotion behind it. And hopefully there's focus behind it too, because that's what's going to help. That's what's going to move the needle. So today we're going to be talking about taking inspired action. Well, and I've got my volume up all the way, so I don't know if it is anybody else having problem hearing me. Nobody else has said that. We're just going to go ahead anyway. Maybe put on some earbuds. I don't know. Maybe that'll help. So here we go. Inspired action is the secret that the pros use in order to get what it is that they want. Inspired action is not going through the movements. I want you to think of inspired action as the same level as a gut feeling. You ever have a gut feeling and you have to move on it? Of course you have. Of course you have. And we've all had that. And we've always been right with it. You know that feeling that I'm talking about. That's the same level that we're talking about with inspired action. It's not just checking things off your checklist. It's instead moving toward the thing that it is that you have a hot burning desire for, that you want, that is a goal, and that is something that you want to complete, like hot milk sprint, for example. That's why we're talking about this all this week. This is how we create a quantum leap in our lives. Okay. Now hear this about that. Okay. A quantum leap. When we talk about taking a quantum leap, the way that we can jump past and jump forward into the thing that we want without having to go step by step by step by step is that commitment, is that inspired action behind the commitment and staying the course as best we can. Excellently, of course. We never do things perfectly because we're not on that side of glory. We're here. We do things absolutely with all the excellence we can muster in our little hearts, right? That's not perfect. It's excellent. And doing things excellently is the propellant, if you will, toward a quantum leap. So inspired means that you've perspired as well, too. It doesn't come without effort. It doesn't. It is always necessarily created with effort. A lot of times it's something new. A lot of times it's something that's a little uncomfortable and feels maybe even a little bit wobbly. But the thing is, you got to work for it. You got to work for it. But when you're doing this, you're not doing this in just like a haphazard way. You're doing it on purpose and for purpose. You're doing it with an end in mind. You're doing it emoting as you go. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Like you're lifting those weights and you're thinking, yeah, I'm going to get that sucker. I'm going to lift this 15 pounds this time instead of the 12 that I was lifting before. That's what I'm trying to do, is increase, and as we do that and we put our minds to it, we get past the place of I can't. And we get into the inspired action of get out of the way. Watch me do this. The feeling of having that, it makes you dig down deep. That's inspired action. And it's that hot action, it's that hot desire that makes you do this, that makes you want that thing in the first place, that also lights on fire your action. So how do you know? Oh, well, I've got several things. I'm going to give you some hints of what it looks like. Well, number one is you want it. You want it bad, bad. You don't just want it. You want it bad. There is no obstacle that can stand in your way, right? There is no obstacle. And you make a decision that no excuse will stand in your way. Nothing is insurmountable. That your want is going to circumvent all the excuses, all the fears, all the garbage, all the but I can'ts, all everything. That's a decision, by the way. That is a decision. Wanting it is a decision, and wanting it all the way so hotly, that's a huge decision that inspires action, right? Good inspired action. Number two is you visualize your outcome and you use your tools. We've got a bazillion tools. They don't cost a dime, by the way, most of them don't. You're using your journal, you're using your vision board, you're using visualization as a tool, you're meditating first thing in the morning, you're getting yourself together. You do that when you use your tools and use the visualize your outcome of what it is that you want. Man, that's the draw. It's the magnet and you're the steel. You're just going toward it. You also, number three, your focus is spectacularly in alignment with what it is that you want. And when I say spectacularly in alignment, it means that you are a one-track thought. You have one thought. You have one objective here. I am going to make it to the end of that week, that sprint week. It is going to be the most successful thing that I have completed. It may not be perfect, but by gum, it's going to be excellent, right? Oh, yes, it is going to be excellent. And the other thing that's so cool is this, because of that strong, inspired action that you are putting out there, emoting with it and just, yes, this is what I want, right? Because of that, you are now collecting evidence to support all of it, that you are going to get that. And sometimes, you don't know what the next thing to do is, and it's okay, because the next thing to do comes to you just almost magically. Sometimes there's a little hiccup and you're giddy up and you're like, okay, well, what am I going to do here? And somebody comes up with a solution for it. It's magical, almost magical what happens when you are that in alignment with what it is that you want. It just, the things just start to fall together beautifully, orchestrated by God himself. Why not? Right? And sometimes, sometimes maybe you have an epiphany and sometimes you don't. Epiphanies are cool as heck. Oh my gosh, I know what I'm going to do. And sometimes it just doesn't happen, but something falls in your lap. Watch for it. Be a noticer. That's the whole thing. When we are always in this place of noticing, and you notice too, by the way, even when you're in a deep meditative state. I had that today. I was noticing like the space behind my eyeballs of all things and the space in my head. I was noticing things. And I noticed as I was noticing when I was in meditation that the more I am in this place of noticing and paying attention and being curious, the easier my life is and the better I am, the more rapid it is that I get toward my goals. That's the quantum leap. So notice, become a woman of noticing, don't just go through the motions, go through it inspired with actions that are inspired. It's just incredible how it happens. And here's the other thing that's happening. And I want you to really grasp this. And if you are taking notes, write this down. You feel happy even in the work that you need to do to attain this particular goal. I think of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, whistle while you work. Right? Remember that? Let's do that as we're doing this. When we dread something, we don't want to show up for it. But when we're anticipating it, when we're excited, when we're happy to even start the work on something, oh my gosh, doesn't it go so much smoother? Of course it does. And the inspired action just comes easily. right? That doesn't mean that there's going to be an absolute smooth sail ahead. Doesn't mean that perfect is on the horizon. It just means that it's just that much easier and it's that much more overcomable if something does arise, and that you're prepared for it because you've made a decision to notice, you've made a decision to be curious, you've made a decision that you are going to overcome whatever comes in your way. You can figure it out. You're a smart woman. That's what wise women do, by the way. And, maybe you're sitting here right now and you're saying, okay, today's Wednesday. On Monday, I'm starting the sprint. I've got my bone broth made or purchased or however it is that you're going about. I've got my kit ordered. I'm going to do this full out. I'm counting the days. I'm counting the days because I am so excited to start this. I'm going to take pictures of my food. I'm going to show up in the Hot Milk Sprint group. I'm going to do the thing. And I double dog dare you to do this, because when you do, and when you see just how strong you are and you see the tenacity and the capacity that you have inside of you and the strength, you'll blow yourself away. We need to challenge ourselves like this because we're not here to live a life of ease and comfort. We are here to be challenged. We're here to live on purpose and for purpose. We are here to do good work. How do we do that? We do that using this vehicle, which is the only one we're ever going to get. And if we are tired, exhausted, full of pain, can't move, can't do anything, then that vehicle's not going to get very far, and we're not going to get very far, are we? Right? Maybe we've been given 10 talents, maybe just one. But if you bury that in the backyard, man, you have absolutely squandered it. That body of yours is a gift, and it needs to be taken care of properly so that you can live your life on purpose vibrantly. Who's on a vibrant path here? Nancy's accepting my double dog dare. I love it. Do it. Do it. This is what it's all about. I mean, this can be pretty darned exciting. 7 days has the capacity to change your life. To change your life. Because sometimes we have just taken it too easy. We've quit too easy on ourselves. We haven't gone all the way. I'm asking you for 7 days to go all the way. It's not a big deal, but it has the capacity and the capability and the possibility of radically changing the way that you view your life. It does. Take me up on it. It's free. You have nothing to lose. The other thing is you find a flow. Have you noticed that when you were just in it, you find a flow? And maybe it's not immediate. Maybe you need to tighten some things up, but your determination and your grit, they help you find that flow. They help you find that flow. And as you're feeling that flow, there is just something about it. There is an energy level that is beyond. It's up here. It's not down here. It's up here. And it is just all about it. Alice said, I am bacon, not eggs. Exactly. That's exactly right. So the other thing is you might find it to be just a little bit scary. It is beyond your comfort zone. I promise you that. But even with the struggle, maybe even with it's hard, maybe even if you think, oh, I don't know that I'm quite up to it, you still do it anyway. And as you do it anyway, guess what? You find out it's not perfect, but boy, oh boy, was it excellent. And didn't I do a good job? Didn't I get those results? Yes, you did. And then you shampoo, rinse, and repeat it, and you find yourself in a whole new realm. You do. You find yourself in a whole new realm. It starts, I believe, because we are looking at the whole woman here, right? Heart, mind, body, and soul. It's got to start with our bodies because this is the container for all of it, right? Otherwise, it's sort of like having a car parked in the garage that doesn't go anywhere. You stay home. That's a comfort zone in and of itself. And I'm saying, no, sister, open the garage door, get in the car. It's time to drive. That's how you get what it is that you want. So This whole thing, and the other thing about this whole thing is it will energize you like nothing else. Getting rid of all that inflammatory stuff and putting the anti-inflammatory stuff in place. Energize, energize, energize. And it might not be easy. You might get the low carb flu, you know? You might feel a little bit crappy for a couple of few days. Do a little hot milk. I will tell you, do the hot milk mix. It'll make you feel different. It'll make you feel so much better. And it will help to mitigate a lot of that stuff. So add that to your cart, by the way, if you're checking out and getting your stuff and getting ready for Monday's sprint. Do it today, by the way, so that we have you ready to go on Monday and it gets there. But there's times where you're just going, well, I don't know how to feel inspired like that. How do I get inspired? Well, I've got 7 things. You ready? This is how you get inspired. Here we go. Number 1, give yourself 5 minutes to get dressed into your costume. For me, that means like first thing this morning, what I did is I got up and I put on all my stuff for pickleball. This is where I play on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I play with this, hard group, and I am inspired every time that I play there, and it's getting better and better. I put on my costume, I take my power pose, and you better believe it. I've already had my journaling time. I've already had my meditation. I am doggone ready. Ready, ready, ready. And getting into that costume puts my mind directly into what it is that I'm about to pursue. Try it. Whatever your costume is, whatever your shoes are, or whatever it is that you're wearing, put on your costume and be prepared. Be ready. I'm an athlete. Athletes wear costumes, don't they? Number 2, your why is your true north. Your why is your true north. Why are you doing this? Why? You are doing it because you need to have a direction in your life, don't you? All of us do. We need to focus. We need a purpose. And when we connect to the focus and the purpose, we can see our why. That's absolutely right. And if we don't, we can start asking ourselves why. Well, why do I want this? What's this all about? When you start asking yourself the questions of, well, what will this do for my vibrancy? What will this do to better my life? You're going to see some pretty interesting stuff, like amazing stuff. Things will pop up, and you're not going to change direction after that. You will know your true north. You will see it. That's your why. Number 3, you will also learn that you're not always on, that you need to take a breather. Last night we were talking in our group, I was like, make friends with your bathtub and the Epsom salts. You get sore. Yes, ma'am. That's self-care right there. You get in that tub and you feel just the relaxation and allow for the rest. The rest is self-care. The rest is nutrition for your soul. And when we do this, things change. When we do this, we see the ebb and the flow and the energy of how this whole thing works, right? It's not always about being on and doing and doing and doing and doing. It's also stopping, taking a break, getting into that bathtub, for example, and understanding that the time that you spend on self-care has nothing to do with selfishness and everything to do with stoking that fire and refueling your life. Really important. Number 4 is read. Get the things around you to support you. Put good quotes out. We have quote decks, by the way. I don't know if you've seen them, but our quote decks are amazing. Every single quote in those quote decks, I think we have two different ones right now. We used to have 3, but I think we sold out of one. 2 different quote decks, but every single quote got into there because it made the hairs on the back of my neck stick up. There's a lot of favorite quotes in there. And you look at that quote and allow it to inspire you. Allow it to take you through to that next hour. Allow it to work its magic with you. Do the same thing with reading books. Do the same thing with a good juicy post. Go look and read some of the testimonials and success stories that are in the Hot Melt Sprint group. That's inspiration. Don't be jealous. Don't be envious. Be inspired by the work that these women who have been taking inspired action have taken. Because inspired action is what got those results, by the way. They didn't just go through the motions. And then number 6 is to move it. Get your butt outside, girlfriend. Go for a walk, lift some weights, shake your moneymaker, dance like nobody's watching. Whatever it is that you need to do, you got to do it, because this is how we get the endorphins going, right? Endorphins are everything. They are the feel-good little hormones that go flying through your body and make you feel really, really good. I'll tell you, if I exercise 6 days a week at least. If I didn't, I would feel awful. I don't see how anybody can sit on their can all day. I just don't. I would lose my mind. And we all need to do this. We're all built the same. It's not just me. We're all built like this. So do not deny what your body needs. Get out there and move it. Number 7, taking any kind of action is important, right? Yes, Jackie, indeed, it helps with depression. That's what endorphins do. It's nature's antidepressant. And taking any kind of action is important. And if you start sprinkling in the emotion over the top of it and visualizing and seeing your vibrant vision boards, if you've made one of those this year, you get to experience what it's going to feel like when you get there. Isn't that cool? So you can kind of circumvent this whole situation and start now. This is what it's going to feel like. It feels pretty darn good. It feels so good to accomplish that goal, but it also feels really, really good to practice for that accomplishment. Experience it now. That's what it's about. So remember that this also, everything that I'm talking about, it's just like cooking. Sometimes you have to go back in and correct the seasoning and make things just a little bit of a little sprinkling of salt, a little more oregano here, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, because you want it to be just right. Your taste, my taste might not be the same. And you might say, ooh, that little extra oregano is just the right touch. And I might taste it and say, ooh, too much oregano. But you know what? It's not my pot of soup, it's yours. And you get to do it the way it works for you. But all of these things keep us going in the right direction. All of these things call on your grit, your determination, the power of your own heart and soul to say, yes, this is what I want. All of this call on us to live on purpose and for purpose, and to stop being an amateur. Amateurs don't get much out of life, but the pros, they've struggled. They've struggled a little bit, but they accomplish much. What do you think? What do you want to be? A pro or an amateur? I leave it up to you. But I do know this, that those who show up and those that commit and those that put themselves full on in, not 95%, but 100% in, they're the ones that get the prize. And I promise you, the prize at the end of 7 days, it's pretty fantastic. So pinkies up. Let's do this. Right, Mother Hen? Let's do this. Y'all, I'm excited for the Hot Melt Sprint. It is happening this Monday. All of the announcements that I gave at the very beginning of the program, you can find at savingdinner.com/announcements. Get your kit. Can I just say, get your kit today. I will go pester Mark. I will get it out in the mail myself if I have to. Get it. It will make a difference, because that's the way we start, right? Number 2 is get yourself ready. Get all the stuff ready. Print out the Hot Melt Sprint. You can find everything at savingdinner.com/hub. Watch the webinar too if you haven't yet. And get ready. This next 7 days from next Monday on is going to be epic, to quote our Nancy. Peace be with you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
Thank you for joining me today. You can find me on TikTok for daily tips to help support your most vibrant life. And remember, you are the author of your own story. Until next time.